I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In closed session, by a vote of 5-0, the board took action to notify one certificated administrative employee in the position of high school assistant principal identified by employee 19663 that said employee may be released and reassigned pursuant to Education Code Section 44951, effective at the end of 2019-2020 school year, and directed the superintendent or designee to send out appropriate legal notices. Okay, I need a motion for our last board meeting.
Second.
Alexis, vote please. I need a motion to adopt the meeting of February 18th study session. Alexis, please vote. I would like to thank the staff and communications for taping the meeting tonight and for posting on the district website. We will start with special recognition. 2020 California Association of School Transportation Officials, COSTO, Safety Poster State winners. Delfino Cuevas, please.
Good evening, everybody. Happy to be here. Dr. Irma, would you come up, please? The reason she's up here is because the students from House Rio. So it's a pleasure for me to be here representing our Transportation Services Department for Roanoke Unified School District. We're here today to present this award to one of our district students who emphasizes the importance of student safety on the bus through her passion of art. Now we know that art, these are the classes, right, that we don't hear too much of. It's interesting how this art in the buses goes. Now CASO is the California Association of School Transportation Officials, who every year holds a poster contest to use as training and educating material as districts statewide. So it's a big deal. It's the whole entire state, right? The contest is open to all students at all levels. So from, you can say kindergarten all the way through our 12th grade. Now the contest this year was, the theme was Can't Touch the Danger Zone. So I had to go with that theme. And I don't know if we have it up on, there it is. So this was the theme. Now, Brianne Cuevas, not related to me, but she also has a unique name, so that's interesting, right? So that's good. Was selected as a state winner and a finalist in the Division III, grade 7th grade. Brianne, please come up here and receive your check of $150. Now, we want to thank you, for your good job. Okay. One of the important things of being in school and being in art is that you can express yourself. Put it that way. And you've actually done a good job with this bus. And is that one of you in there? Did you burn something? Maybe somebody else, right? Just random people. So we want to thank you for that. Keep up the good work. Keep up that passion you have inside of you. And we're just glad that you're part of Corona Film Festival District 10.
Two and three.
She really wants to leave. Because we're not done yet. In addition, the teacher, Mrs. Mexico, did I say that right? Is also awarded $100, a check here for her to have a class party. Okay. So and obviously she couldn't be here tonight with us, but we also want to appreciate her for being that educator that teaches these students to really grow in that passion that we want to see around Corona Film Festival. So we are proud, and thank you very much.
Now we will go on to Beyond the Classroom. Chief?
Thank you, Madam President. It's always a pleasure at our business meeting to do a employee recognition for Beyond the Classroom. We know that we have amazing employees in our district, but there's always those few that go above and beyond their normal call of duty. And so this evening, we are proud to recognize several teachers from Reagan Elementary. So at this time, I'd like to call up to the podium Allison East, Claire Pan, and Emily Stice. Principal, Mr. Garcia here this evening? Awesome, thank you. These are amazing teachers, and I'm going to leave it up to Principal Garcia to say a few words on their behalf for this deserving recognition this evening.
Good evening, everyone. Madam President, members of our school board, and Dr. Lynn, Executive Captain as well. I have three outstanding teachers in front of us, as well as Mrs. Sabezma joining us. I want to read a little something about our teachers. These ladies volunteer their time to provide Reagan students of all ages the opportunity to learn about, practice, and perform as part of our Reagan choir. They spend time researching what students will perform and how they will teach the students of so many ages. Miss Stice, by the way, Miss Stice is getting married on Saturday. Miss Stice, Mrs. Pan, and Mrs. East all joined as directors for the school year. Students are provided the opportunities to perform solos, perform in Latin, and perform at various venues around the district. We are so proud of the accomplishments of our young choir, but I have to thank the generous dedication of these teachers that provide these opportunities. They truly represent the culture at Reagan, and we appreciate and applaud their efforts.
Everybody, 1, 2, and 3. Take over. 1, 2, and 3.
Madam President, if I may just say a quick word. Emily, that can't be right that you're getting married, because I've known you since you were at my knee. How you're teaching children is beyond me too, but congratulations, congratulations. And it doesn't mean I'm getting older.
Okay, we will move on to presentations to the board. 100 Mile Club. Ms. Carolyn.
Good evening, amazing school board, cabinet, Dr. Lynn, everyone. It is an honor to be here today, and I'm so excited to be talking to you tonight about the Run for Kids. It's our 13th annual Run for Kids, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do, I really want to talk about the 100 Mile Club and what is our why. The mission of the 100 Mile Club is to create a world where kids are active, healthy, happy, and connected in an environment that's non-competitive, supportive, and fully inclusive. And we want to do that through daily physical activity at school and beyond school. And every one of the kids in our program does this thing by setting the goal of running or walking 100 miles over the course of a school year, and they do it together. They do it one step at a time, they do it 1 mile at a time, and they do it together. It's been proven time and time again that active kids do better in school. They do better academically, they do better socially, and they do better in class. And for us, daily physical activity is essential. Plus, they really love the gold medals. They love working hard, they love being awarded their gold medals every year, and it is something that they cherish. I have adult students who come back to me and say they still have all of their medals from school. One thing we pride ourselves in the 100 Mile Club is our family and community engagement piece, which is very difficult to facilitate normally, but with us, we allow our kids to come together at community events where they can earn miles together, and sometimes we'll have representation from 15 or 16 different schools, not only in CNUSD, but beyond. And every March, we bring all of those students together, and we bring them together for Run for Kids. I don't know if the volume is up, you guys. It's so fantastic. But is there volume? It doesn't matter. You can still read it and see the cuteness. It's all good. Uh-oh. It's all right. We like it quiet. So that's our Run for Kids in a nutshell. Run for Kids runs on March 14th of this year. It's just coming up in about a week and a half. And this year we have 2 activities that individuals can participate in. The first one is the 5K. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, being emceed by our incredible Mr. Z, which is going to be very fun. And at 9 o'clock is our free kids open run. And in our office, we call it the All You Can Run event. So it's 3.5 hours of open run where our kids can set and achieve their goals and do amazing things at Auburndale. We have flyers available digitally in English and Spanish. If you'd like me to email them to you, let me know, but they are on our website. And we encourage everyone to bring a campsite, come together, and you can have a school campsite, a family campsite, or even an organization campsite. Our top 3 participating schools will be awarded a championship banner to hang at their school forever, and the top school will receive what we call the Big Giant Trophy, which has been won by Reagan for like the last, 5
years.
Oh my God. It's a battle, and it's really fun to see who can bring the most kids to Run for Kids. If you're interested in registering for the 5K or the Free Kids Run, just go to 100 Mile Club and click the link. It'll take you right there. And we look forward to seeing all of you guys and celebrating our kids' achievements. This is one of our community events at Dos Lagos, and this is a little girl, and she's not from Corona Norco, she's actually from Azusa, and she was finishing her 100th mile at Dos Lagos, being celebrated by kids all over the district. So it's really fun. So thank you for your time. I hope to see you all at Run for Kids this year. It is going to be a blast, and I did not mention that there is a 100-mile ultra marathon being run on the very same day. So it's a 24-hour run, so there will be people on the track for 24 hours. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you there.
Thank you, Karen. I'm 11 miles away from my 100-mile. I'll catch up with it, yeah. Okay, Superintendent's report, Dr. Lin.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening. First, I'd like to say thank you to Kara for all your long, dedicated years of service and partnering with the school district and really providing this critical element in helping our kids stay fit. Critical of importance and all the time and dedication. So good to see you, Kara. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you. I'd also like to congratulate certainly our teachers from Reagan Elementary School, Mrs. Yeast, and Stice. Thank you so much for all you do, and again, congratulations. I really appreciate the work and the effort, that you go way beyond the call of duty for our children. Much appreciated. Thank you so much, and certainly like to congratulate Biani too for the wonderful picture that she's able to paint and won that prize from the Director of Transportation. Certainly wanted to, at the same time, give the board an update on a couple of things, and I'd like to begin with the theme of athletics. And there's a lot of things going on this time of the year. I won't even try to mention all. There's so many competition going on from all our high schools, and that's continuing. But I will say to the board, I look forward to recognizing some sports that we have accomplished in winning CIF and beyond championships. The cheer championship competition was recently won by the Centennial High School girls for the very first time, I believe, along with the girls soccer CIF champions this past weekend, and a bunch of wrestlers, both boys and girls division from Centennial and Eleanor Roosevelt, and Santiago as well. So the girls soccer is from Santiago. Thank you, Sam. So again, looking forward to bringing these kids and their coaches to the board for a future presentation, acknowledging their accomplishment. Appreciate that. And I want to keep my presentation really short because I do want to hand over the microphone to Sam and his group to give the board an update on our handling of the coronavirus in terms of having preparation for the inevitable, potentially, possibly events that's coming up. Before I do that, I want to say quickly thank you to staff for one other thing this afternoon. As we're planning for the COVID-19 events that potentially may happen that would lead eventually to potential school closures, the fire took place out in the group area. And thank you to our staff, Sam, and everyone else involved, particularly to the site administration and staff at both Norco High School and Riverview. They did a fantastic job. We able to evacuate the whole entire school from Riverview within about 25 minutes. And the leadership and accommodation from the staff and administration was much appreciated. So we had a safe and quick evacuation. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Sam. As far as the COVID-19 update, we have at this point, as you know, sent out 3 reports to the community and staff to keep no one abreast of what some of the best practices medically that we should practice. And but also at the same time, we understand the public sentiment as we're looking at the growth of this potential virus. So we want to take every precautionary measure and try to stay a couple of steps ahead of the game in case the health department would close schools in Riverside County or Unified School District. We wanted to be ready in all fronts. And so with that said, without further ado, I'll turn it over to Dr. Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Lin. Before we talk about the coronavirus and introduce Dr. Illick and our nurse Allison Cram, I do want to also acknowledge for today's fire Officer Carrillo, who's here, and also Captain Soto, Sergeant Soto, excuse me, and for their help, their tremendous help, and also obviously the firefighters and the whole maintenance staff. So thank you so much, Officer Carrillo. Okay, so the coronavirus, so we've been, over the last, everyone here, I should say, has heard about the coronavirus and its effects around the world. And so certainly we've been very proactive, messaging with our communications team numerous times, in fact 3 times to our parents and school community. But we know that we need to continue to stay on top of it, and so each day we get updates. And today we met in our EOC, activated our EOC and as brought together about a group of about 30 folks. They're representing various divisions as we look for worst possible scenario in case we have to shut down our schools, in case students are not receiving education for a few weeks. In anticipating some of the potential problems, we had quite a brainstorming session today in our EOC. So with that, we're also going to update our principals come Thursday as well, and I also want to thank all the divisions that were there today. So Dr. Illick, if you can come up here please, with our nurse, and provide us a brief update as to the next steps.
Good evening, President Ibarra, Board, Dr. Lin, Executive Cabinet. As Dr. Moymoser said, we met today at the EOC to look at a draft of our district response plan. I just want to thank the Communications Department with Vita Tapia, Mr. Steve Ellis, and the nursing department. They've been very proactive and really important in terms of coming up with a screening process at the schools, and also with the communication piece to parents. In terms of our response plan, we met with all divisions in our organization today, and we were looking at, all right, what communication pieces are we going to use to communicate to our stakeholders, critical planning issues, warning signs, some immediate actions and prevention. We're also looking at, we've developed a process for what if we have to close the school immediately, and if the health department comes and says you have to close the school right now. So we've developed a plan for that, and also what happens if it's at the end of the day. Now, if we have to close for a while, how are we going to deliver the curriculum? Is there a way we can deliver a curriculum while the school is closed? So we're working with Ed Services and to come up with those strategies and to move forward with that. So with that, I will hand it over to Allison.
Thank you. Just a quick update. Was on the call this afternoon with the county. So as of today, Riverside County still has no cases of coronavirus, which is a good thing. And there is no indication at this point that the public health department will be asking schools to close. So the work is good. We don't need to do. Dr. Kaiser, the public health officer, is not currently recommending altering or canceling any public events, but they did caution us to remember that the situation is fluid and could change at a moment's notice. So, one final note they were talking about spring break messaging. One of the other districts was on the call and said, well, what kind of information do we need to have sent out or have parents have in place when they come back? And it was just reiterated that if the child is sick or has a fever, please stay home. Use respiratory etiquette, so coughing into your elbow or in a tissue and then washing your hands. 6 feet of personal space for distancing. And then they're actually asking us to avoid handshaking at this point. Yeah. I believe Dr. Illick passed out the previously distributed algorithm. It is, as it stands right now, the Department of Public Health and then RCO would be pushing out anything with the criteria should change for this algorithm.
Any questions from the board?
Yes, thank you for this and for being proactive. I do have one comment though, too, just kind of general. In medicine, we have a saying, if you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. So I just want to caution people that, the regular flu, or if you do, have a cough or fever, if you don't, meet the criteria of traveling to China or being in close contact, think of the obvious things, cold, flu, as opposed to possibly corona. I mean, I'm glad we're proactive, but, influenza at this point has a higher death rate in the U.S. than coronavirus. So, just wanted to
And I don't know if the students, actually when you started talking, the students all most of them put down their phones and were listening. So just make sure when you go home, can you repeat what you said? What you said, there's no cases.
Oh, yes, no cases of coronavirus in Riverside County, none.
So no schools shutting.
No schools closing anytime soon.
So don't use that tomorrow to not be at school, all right? So, yeah, so.
No social media stuff.
Yeah, no. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ehrlich and staff, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, now we will have public hearing, and I will read. The public hearing scheduled for 2019-2020 resolution number 81, increasing the statutory school fees imposed on new residential and commercial industrial development projects pursuant to Ed Code Section 17620 is hereby continued until April 14, 2020. Mr. Jarvis.
Yes, in order to provide full disclosure to community, especially the Building Industry Association of Southern California, we felt it was best to postpone it to April to allow time for the messaging to get out, and then we'll bring it back on April 14th for the public.
Thank you. Student board report. Alexis?
Thank you, Madam President. This morning we discussed Life Skills Prom, which is May 1st, and what each school can contribute. We discussed elections for our executive boards and class elections that are happening this month for most schools. We talked about Vibe Check, which is a new event hosted at Centennial, and their description is the kids' version of a wellness fair. We are opening it up to all leadership groups and schools, and the tentative date is May 2nd. Centennial has a Powder Puff coming up, Assembly March 17th, 8th grade night, March 18th. Corona has an Assembly March 13th. JFK has a mandatory assembly coming up. Norco has an assembly March 20th. Santiago has Powder Puff March 27th, an assembly next week. And we also notified schools about the cancellation of the health fair, and unfortunately Roosevelt could not make it to the meeting, so there are no updated events for them. That concludes my report.
Okay, we will start with Jose Lawless. Dr. Lawless?
All right, good evening, everyone. I've got some report that I want to share with you. I think a couple of weeks ago, I wrote to request to put in the agenda a discussion about intervention for our students. I don't know if you know that board members, 64% of our students are still not meeting the standards in mathematics and language arts. And so I hope that we can talk about it, so we can do something so we can prepare them for college. That means if 100 kids are walking, 65 of those are not meeting standards in math and ELA. And while we're receiving all kinds of accolades from all kinds of agencies, we're a good district, but we still have some issues to confront. The next thing I want to report is that we had a symposium on robotics and coding at the University of Redlands in cooperation with Redlands Unified School District. Their intervention is no longer the traditional classes that they take, but they offer robotics and coding for their students. I spoke to a couple of autistic kids, and I want to ask for their GPA. They said, no, these are very, very regular kids, not honors, not AP, but kids who are in the middle, who are doing robotics and coding, and autistic kids are doing wonderfully in terms of of those. So there's hope that we can do something for our Corona Narco in terms of the intervention. Last weekend I was at the National Association for Bilingual Education, and I presented a couple of workshops on equity policy, and I was invited by NABE Special Interest Group to talk to their policy makers, policy group, and talk about these issues. Last week I was talking with a group of 21 administrators at San Bernardino, where they invited me on their educators academy, San Bernardino Administrators Equity Academy, and I spoke to 21 of them, and I talked about navigating the politics of equity, and it's so satisfying that they resonate with some of the ideas in terms of the questions and the strategies that we were talking about. Last week I was at one of our schools, El Cerrito Middle School, and Dr. Yardborough, I believe either she lends me this or she gives me this book. This is Dare to Lead, and maybe some of the administrators have read this book. I read it during the weekend, and it gives me more courage to really ask questions, because it talks about being courageous. If there are issues that we need to tackle, you have to ask the question, because, and I quote here, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." So we have to be courageous and brave in terms of our leadership in the school district. So that's all.
Thank you. Mr. Pope.
Thank you, Madam President. Very busy month, exciting month though. It started with History Day, majority of it was on History Day, and then also Math Field Day, and robotics as well. And so to see what our students are doing is just incredible, just great work. And History Day, seeing the number of projects that are there. I can't remember how many they had, but just the growth over the last few years is wonderful to see. So I wanted to thank the students for that, as well as the teachers and the staff for really getting behind the students and doing an excellent job. A couple of school site visits at Susan B. and Tabasco Valley, and just to see again what our students are doing. Pretty exciting. Garrettson had a health expo. Sam and Dr. Philip and I know a few others went, and it was a great community showing there with police, fire, and a lot of groups, medical groups, and just really getting kids involved and families involved. So I want to give a kudos to Garrison. And then to piggyback on what Dr. Lynn had mentioned about the athletics, and I am going to list them a little bit more specifically. Roosevelt had a state champion wrestler, Brandon Leon. Third in this district, and this is state. This is everybody. It's just incredible. So, congratulations, Brandon. Corona High, the girls wrestlers, came in 8th overall, and that's exciting. Starting out with girls softball, I was able to go to their semis game, and they beat the 3-time defending CIF champs, Jay Sarah, and then they ended up beating up the #1 team, Upland. So they're playing in state tonight. And then Centennial's boys and girls are in the state basketball playoffs tonight, and Roosevelt also the boys. So we're doing some wonderful things athletically. And then to have the Reagan teachers honored and our El Streeter Middle School student showing us what the impact arts are having. I'm just really excited on the well-roundedness of things. Going back though, real quick, I have a couple of seconds. If I could have a report, I'm not exactly sure, but I was talking with all these wonderful programs going to CIF. How is that budgeted? It's almost like a win-lose situation. They're going to state, but now they have to pay out of their budget to get kids to the events. They're moving on, but now how do we do that as a district? How are those schools rewarded, but they're losing money because of their budgets for transportation, busing, hotels, and lodging? So if I could just have a report maybe by email or next next meeting on how those funds are appropriated if we have a plan. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President. So I've gone to several schools since the last time we met. I went to Temesco Valley, Corona Ranch, CNUSD Adult Education Today, El Cerrito, and also attended the Crystal Apple Awards with my fellow members here, and also the Math Field Day. But what I can say about this, every school is unique. Every school has something special that is very outstanding, and so it's a thrill to go, because you're not going to see the same old thing happening at each school, because you have different clientele, and they all accelerate, and they all are very happy to show off what they're doing, and so I'm so happy and pleased when I go visit these schools. Tomorrow I'll be visiting Ronald Reagan and reading across America with the students, and then scampering over to Washington to also read for the students. Next weekend, March 14th, there's a lot of things going on. One of them is the activity that is called Science Olympiad. And this has been going on in this community for over 20 years. My husband and I took it over 6 years ago. And we are going to have several teams representing Corona Norco. JFK's going, Centennial's going, Santiago, Eastham, and Clara Barton. So if you're out there, we're going to be at Etowanda High School all day. It's an intense competition, and the winners from that will move on to the state competition, and then the winners from that will go to nationals. So they will be receiving awards. It's different because it is a hands-on competition. I also want to thank Lisa Simon for reaching out. It is a big event, and looking for proctors, and so she's helping out as well. So if you have a science background, you might want to contact her or myself. We'd be pleased to have you come and help us. It is all voluntary-based competition, but it's a lot of fun and excitement for the students. It's all STEM-related activities. So the kids will be launching rockets, they'll be launching all kinds of vehicles, and then, of course, a lot of chemistry and modeling, and doing a lot of computer things as well. So with that, thank you.
I wasn't going to mention it, but since Bill did, I think a lot of us went to the History Day, which was, it really is, it just blows you away at the level that these kids are coming up with, even at the elementary, so very exciting. Went to the Yelp Career Day over at El Cerrito, and I know they were doing one at Corona Fundamental, and I think Auburndale as well, several of them around the districts, and that's where professionals in the community and all different professions come in, and they plant themselves in a room, and the kids kind of cycle through and hear different options of what they could possibly be someday. So it's a powerful thing. It just really speaks to our collaboration, because it's happening throughout our district, just on community folks, because it's during their workday, taking their time, so really appreciate that. Read Across America is happening, great things at I think just about all of our schools. I know Dr. Lynn touched on a little bit, but the Norco Fire, just really appreciate the community and how they helped out too, and just offering, because Norco, you have a lot of horses, and if horses do not do well with fire around, they just do not. So a lot of folks offering their stalls and different help, but also the community just saying how much they trusted us with their children, and how we were able to facilitate today so smoothly. Then a couple issues that I'd like to hit upon. I don't know that we've done any sort of analysis for quite some time. I've asked for this some years back, but I'd like to see where we're at. And I know it's different depending upon if you're at a Title I, but what teacher allocations, because I still hear teachers, not enough paper, not enough printing stuff. So I want to see where we're at gap-wise, and if there is a possibility that we can maybe increase that, because I don't think we have in quite some time. So if we can look at that. And then lastly, and I mentioned this to you, Dr. Lynn, if we can, and I think Dr. Panostro, if we could look at kind of analysis of what that new law for discipline or lack of suspensions through the K-8, what that looks like, what some of our options are on because it's a big one for teachers. And I know we're working on it with CNTA, but I'd like to have a presentation if we could, and then, and I know it's going to take some time, but then a subsequent presentation after that on really where we're at, what we need to fine tune. With that, thank you.
Thank you. I was able to attend the NJROTC ceremonies at Corona High. 3 of our students that are in the NJROTC are going to be going to the military in June, so they were honored there. I was also really excited to be at the spelling bee. I love spelling bee. And it's incredible the words that these kids have to spell. I've never even heard of these words before, but they're spelling them. We will be represented at the Riverside County by a student from Norco Intermediate. So that was really a great thing. Friday, I will also be reading Across America at Ben Franklin. So that is the end of my report, and now we will have CNTA. Chris?
Yes. Hi, good evening, everyone. I can't believe we're already in March, right? Just over 3 months left in school. It's pretty wild, I know. So a couple of things this evening. The first is just to bring your consideration to a possible adjustment in consent item 13H, which is board policy 4111. We just want to ask the board to consider that possible incentives for hiring may or may not be bargainable. So we would like to just ask the board to maybe reconsider the language there, or include with board approval and as bargained, or something to that degree might be helpful. Aside from that, things are always really exciting. We're working really hard with the district to, as Mr. Zickabu shared, we're working for the discipline matrix and really trying to find our way through all of the new legislation and what that means for Corona Norco. How do we support students? How do we support classrooms and families? So a lot of hard work happening there. We're just continuing to do that. And the last piece is I'm looking forward to meeting with each of you very soon. I know we have a lot of really hot topics regarding inclusion of special education students, as well as our English learners in classrooms. And so we'll be reaching out to you very soon, because we'd really like to get our board's opinions and viewpoints and share those of the teachers as well. Okay, so thank you so much for your time. You guys have a great evening.
Okay, we will move on to public comment, and that's what you students are, right? Finally, huh? Okay, listen up, because I'm going to read some rules, okay? And you guys, teachers always give rules. I'm not a teacher, but at this point in our agenda, we invite the public to address the board. Please limit remarks to 3 minutes or less. Today, because we have all these cards, you will get 2 minutes each, and we will listen to every one of you. But the timer, when it goes off, you're done. Okay? Thank you. All right. I remind the audience that this is a public session of the board and not a meeting of the public. Although the board will not respond to speakers directly, either during public comment or after the meeting, staff members may contact or follow up with written communications. If multiple speakers address the same subject, I may request that the subsequent speakers only add new information. The time limit for a given topic is 20 minutes regardless of the number of speakers, but in this case, 2 minutes each. If a speaker wishes to be heard on more than 3 topics, the speaker will be allowed to up to 10 minutes to address all desired items. Persons who have complaints against employees of the district are encouraged to seek resolution of those complaints by utilizing the district's written complaint procedure rather than orally addressing them at a meeting. Please refrain from applauding after each speaker. Public comments is now open. 2 minutes each. The first two people are going to have 3 minutes because they're not students. So the first person is Aaliyah Rodriguez.
Extra minute since I wanted to do a presentation. Are you going now?
Go,
Okay.
clock.
Hi, board. My name is Dr. Leah Rodriguez.
I'm the new Chief Executive Officer for the Corona Narco United Way. And I wanted to give you all a presentation, but I was reduced to public comment. So I wanted to just bring the United Way to the boards and the executive staff's forefront on the things that we're doing as a nonprofit organization serving the community of Norco, Eastville, and Corona and parts of Rupa Valley. One of the things that we really encompass is promoting education, financial stability, and health through those areas that I just mentioned. A lot of things that we focus on are families in transition or low-income families that are in need of financial stability and learning how to get on their own 2 feet, victims of domestic violence, child abuse, social emotional development. But also I wanted to capitalize on this time with our educational opportunities that we have as a nonprofit organization. We're just right here at the Civic Center, right behind City Hall. We have 3 different programs, and I brought our youth board president who's going to use her 3 minutes to talk about what they do. But we have a children and youth success program that she's going to talk about and how we try to instill tutoring and homework club and education for those students that are in transition of being homeless or the students that are very low income poverty level to try to help them get academic success. We do have a program called the Bright Scholars Program, and these are for the high achieving students that are in the high schools that are here in this Corona Norco Unified School District. But these are also the students that are also low income and don't have means to get SAT prep courses, things of that nature. What we do is we provide them the opportunity through a grading criterion. We give them the 6 weeks for free. We feed them lunch, we give them snacks, we give them water, we give them the education, and then we also pay for their SAT classes or their tests when they actually take the test. We do give them some PSAT instruction as well so that they can have the maximum rate of success as they possibly can, the opportunity to succeed. So that's one thing that we do for the students, and we're just about nearing our end. So I think they're taking their SAT here in a couple weeks. So those are again for the high achieving, low income students in the school. We also do some career planning with them, try to help them fill out their FAFSAs, try to get them on course for college, and all free of charge, just services that we provide as a nonprofit organization. One thing we also do, especially for our domestic violence victims or those that are coming from the area that don't have a means to get their high school education, we do offer them in conjunction with the school district and the adult education center. We provide them the GED program. We pay for their GED classes and help them with the academic success there so that they can actually get back into the workforce after they've seen some kind of trauma and are unable to provide for themselves and their family. So I just wanted to let you know who we are, what we're doing, and we're trying to do some really great things. Everyone knows United Way is, but how this impacts the Corona Norco Unified School District. We're looking to get on the map with you all, partner with you. I've been meeting with some of your internal staff just to kind of let us know what we're doing. And hopefully I can be in front of you all again with a more extensive presentation of the programs that we're offering. So thank you so much for your time.
Grayson Ariola.
Hi, my name is Grayson Ariola. I'm the president of the Corona Norco Unified Way Board. So although we're a global organization, we're not yet very well known within the community, especially among the high school students. So what we are is a group of high school students from this school district, and we're dedicated to moving the community in any way that we can. So one way that we do this, we provide an opportunity we provide equal opportunity for success in the classroom. And we do this through our school supply store, which provides necessary classroom materials, not just in backpack drives every fall, but year-round, and it's at no cost to the students. It's entirely maintained through school donations from the more privileged students and redistributed to the students that do fall below the poverty line. Another way that we do this, we assist in path to success programs such as Homework Club, where we provide tutoring to students grades 3 through 11. And we also assist in programs aided towards social and emotional support for students who have experienced domestic violence in their homes. And another thing that we hope to do is opening an Adulting 101 program where we provide the opportunity to learn about necessary and essential aspects of adulthood, such as changing a tire, managing credit, paying taxes, and a plethora of other essentials that have been identified by members of our board. And additionally, throughout the 2019-2020 school year, we're working on a community impact project by renovating the settlement house, which is a core piece of the homeless community here in Corona. And so we're hoping by renovating the settlement house, we can improve the store sales and hopefully gain more revenue to provide better supplies to those who do need the settlement house. So basically, I'm here today to encourage you to take advantage of the resources that we do offer, because we're eager to help as many people as we can, and it just seems we're trying to gain the outreach to do that. So thank you for your time.
Question for you.
Yes.
So where are you housed out of? Are you in each individual high school, or how do we get a hold of you?
So we're located at the Old City Hall at 815 West 6th Street.
Which city?
The Corona City Hall, sorry. So we are open to all the school districts. Right now, we're mainly working with Centennial High School students, but you can reach us through social media platforms or through our CEO, Olivia.
Thank you. And then have you made a connection with the Parent Center at all?
The Parent Center, no.
Thank you.
Thank you, that sounds like a lot of help for some students. Okay, now we will start with the students in 2 minutes. Jaren Pavick.
Hi, my name is Jaren Pavick, and I'm a senior at Eleanor Roosevelt High School, where our motto is be the best at getting better. Unfortunately, it seems that in the pursuit of getting better, the school fails to acknowledge the students who have always done well. A great example of this is Roosevelt's policy about grade improvement. In the first semester of every year I've been there, they provided free pizza to students whose grade have improved 0.5 or more grade points between the quarters, which is a great incentive for students to improve their grades. However, students who get straight A's in the first quarter have no chance to improve their grade by 0.5, and they receive no rewards for their accomplishments. At least from what I know and talking with friends. Another example of this is, Roosevelt found to acknowledge high-performing students comes in the form of state testing. Students who receive a 3 or 4 during the state testing get a grade bump for their math and or language arts class. However, students in AP and honors classes do not receive the same grade bump as the kids in general ed classes. Thank you for listening. I hope you take into consideration what I've said and recognize high-performing students in the district.
Thank you. Aiden Pate.
Good evening. My name is Aiden Pate. I'm a senior at Northville High School, and I want you guys to realize that I'm here to talk about the soaps in our school bathrooms. Most of the soap dispensers and men's restrooms that they talk about buildings, but they're either broken or empty, and a lot of people get sick around this time. And I want to bring coronavirus into this, but it's not super, it's not spread around much over here, but just take into consideration that a lot of people are sick and everything spreads. Would be don't wash your hands if you can, when you go touch the desk or whatever may happen. So I just want to talk about sickness, and it's just a necessity to wash your hands really good. So,
thank you. Hunter Liu.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, board members, distinguished guests, Dr. Lane, Madam President. My name is Hunter Liu, and I'm a senior at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. As a Mustang, there are many things to be proud of. Our new STEM building, for example, our CIF level sports programs, the numerous AP classes we offer, and our helpful staff. But one thing that I'm sure everyone in this room is not proud of, as I just mentioned, is our bathrooms. So our lavatories are often neglected and the soap is often empty. But restrooms are essential to any major administrative public building. but I speak from personal experience when I say that our school's restrooms certainly do not meet the needs of such a sizable student body. I and many students here tonight have found ourselves late to class numerous times because of the long waits in the bathroom, furthered by the overall uncleanliness of them. But luckily, I do have a solution in mind, specifically for the boys' restroom. So there's an unspoken rule at our school that teenager boys are not allowed to use urinals next to each other at the same time. Yeah. Because boys generally choose to use the stalls instead, which adds extra work to the custodians and janitorial crew, as well as further demotes the overall hygiene of the environment. Thus, I would urge the school board to consider the addition of dividers next to the urinals. With this, more students will undoubtedly choose to actually use the urinals, which would allow for better maintenance of the stalls and toilets. In addition, less usage of time in the bathrooms will correlate with less vandalism as a result. My concerns, although lighthearted and a little funny, deeply reflect the need for our school to meet the professional standards of any major educational setting. Simple solutions such as dividers may in fact go a long ways in improving the entire campus quality. But regardless, I thank you for your time and I hope you take our voices into consideration.
Cecily Cepeda.
Good evening, CNUSD board members. My name is Cecily Cepeda, and I am a senior attending Eleanor Roosevelt High School. Similar to many other students behind me, I'm also here to complain about the bathrooms at our school. Unfortunately, for the past 5 weeks, the female bathroom upstairs, or actually downstairs in the building, has been closed. So the upstairs bathroom, when we need to use our valuable time, our 8 minutes during passing period to go to the bathroom, we don't have enough time to use the restroom because we only have 8 minutes. And oftentimes the lines are very long because there's a large student body at our school. There's about 5,000 students. And also, regarding the bathrooms, they're very uncleanly at times. And like they also said, I didn't even know that the guys also too, they deal with this, but we don't have much soap all the time. They're often broken, the dispensaries, so it's also very uncleanly. And it's a very big issue along with vandalism at our school. The bathrooms are completely vandalized. And I have pictures on my phone too of the vandalism. And oftentimes, not only do the faculty experience the stench of the bathrooms, but that building is really prominent because in the morning, I have 2 classes that I start in the morning and in the bath building, and it smells really bad. Not only do students complain about it, but also teachers too that work in the facility, and I think it would help them. It would be a great improvement if we were able to fix that issue. Thank you.
Okay, the next 2 parts also, I'm talking about the bathrooms. So can you guys change it up a little bit? So, Jade Randolph. Jade.
Hi, I'm Adriana. I'm 17 and I'm very courageous. So, when you said change up, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, we already talked about soap and.
Oh,
so
okay. I'll talk about, can I talk about the policy? Okay. So, we recently implemented a new policy at our school at the beginning of the semester where we have to scan the QR code and say like what building we're at, what teacher we're at, and all this stuff just to go to the bathroom. And it's honestly really a hassle, especially for, I know some of my ladies out there, when we're on our time of the month, you know, things happen. And when I if I leave through, I don't want to have to scan the QR code just to go to the bathroom. And I know that's a lot of reason why people did choose bathroom policy to talk about too, on their cards. And I just wanted to bring that attention to, like, maybe we could change it or like have it like a faster way. Like maybe if there's like an emergency or something, you don't have to scan the QR code. That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Boy Carter. Did I say your name?
Hi, I am Cody Carter. I was going to originally talk about bathroom policy, but she spoke on it. One thing that I noticed that was changed was the sheet from Estancia into our parking lot. We can't go straight from Estancia anymore. It's cut off, but we have to either turn left or right. And that has actually made traffic worse. They thought it would make it better, but it only made it worse, and more people are late to school now. So if that could be changed back to the way it was, that would be very helpful.
Thank you. Damian Vargas.
I'm Damian Vargas. I'm a senior at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. I just want to talk about the e-pass, an electric pass that we use to go in, to sign out and sign back into our classes. I think it's a little excessive carrying around a huge sign with us to go to the restroom. Maybe we can switch that up. Maybe we can use our ID cards to sign out and then sign back in. Maybe that can make things faster, go by faster. And thank you for listening.
Thank you. Yes, thanks.
Okay. Hi, my name is Nina Saints, and honestly, I just wanted to talk about just a couple issues. So, first one, I would like to talk about our rugby team and how we really don't get any recognition at all, but someone else is going to speak deeper into that. And then next, I would like to talk about our ACP situation. So, I don't really understand if we're late to school and then we don't go to that lunch session or whatever like that. I don't really know the process of who gets really put in place. But it makes really no sense that if they're late to school, they are taken out of the entirety of school, and some people do get really left behind, and they get behind in school, and it makes no sense if they're a little bit late to school. Why do they get taken out of the entire day of school? That makes them stress out quite a bit. Okay, and my next topic would really be the parking lots for the staff and the students. If a student uses the time to give all the paperwork, registration, our insurance, everything to the school, we pay for our parking pass and everything, and we're not allowed to park in the parking lot that's most convenient to us. It really makes no sense, and I understand it's the staff parking lot, but the staff parks in the student parking lot, and they park in the most convenient spot for them. Why can't we park in the most convenient spot for us? Because I live like 2 minutes from the only reason I have a car is because I do go places after, and I need to get out of school as fast as I can, and that is the most convenient parking spot for me, so I don't understand why I can't. And they do implement that also with during our lunches. They don't let us out in the front, and even though in that parking lot, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Roosevelt to specific since it is a very big district, and I'm almost out of time. Okay, so thank you.
Good evening, board members, board president, Dr. Lynn, executive cabinet. My name is Alejandro Simon Vasquez, and I'm here to ask you to please consider providing more funding to our school's music and band program through the LCAP to help support music students such as myself, as well as support our families who spend so much time and donate so much money to help ensure our success in this program, and help any families who fall behind because they cannot meet the financial constraints, and it's just too difficult that they cannot make the donation that our band requires them or to participate in the program. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Tristan Tran from Eleanor Roosevelt High School, and the issue I'd like you guys to consider is the 4-point scale at our school. This 4-point scale can be very easy for kids to not fail the class, but it is very difficult to get a high grade and maintain the grade in that class. For example, last year in physics, my teacher used a 4-point scale, and on a 50-question test, if you missed 5, then you got a 75% or a 3. And I believe that
students should be graded based on the percent that they actually get, not rounded to the nearest to the points.
Thank you.
Good evening, District Board. I hope I'm addressing the right group of people tonight as I speak about curriculum changes at my high school. My name is Claire O, and I'm a senior attending Eleanor Roosevelt High School. I'd like to speak about the recent change at our school that caused AP Literature to replace AP Lang as the expected junior year curriculum. I've taken both AP English, Language, and Composition and AP Literature, and from my own experience and the experience of countless other seniors who have done the same, I believe that AP Lang should continue to be a junior year class. Lang teaches valuable skills that were indispensable to the most important writing I have done in my life so far, writing my college essays. If I hadn't learned how to use narrative and rhetoric in junior year, I wouldn't have been able to apply those skills early in my senior year. The introduction of juniors in literature classes also takes much needed attention from educators away from seniors preparing for their next step after high school. My concern is that students who are being advised by the school to delay taking English, Language, and Composition until their senior year are at a disadvantage because they postpone the year of their education that taught myself and my peers how to convey our thoughts effectively, coherently, and artfully. Literature is important, but control of language is absolutely crucial and more widely applicable for each student preparing for college and career. I hope that my concerns have fallen on ears that have the compassion and the authority to influence reversing the change made to the English curriculum at my high school. Thank you.
My name is Lily Lee, and I'm a student at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. As part of my AP government project, I would like to discuss some changes that I would like to have in my school. I would like to change the way that lunch is organized at my school, as lunch can get really hectic, especially during second lunch, where many students have second lunch as opposed to first lunch. I believe that my school should extend lunch periods from 40 minutes to 50 minutes if students are expected to spend the majority of their time waiting in line. Also, in second lunch, there are many times where I would stand in line and there wouldn't be enough food for everybody, and that's a big disadvantage for most of us since second lunch has majority students. I would also like to propose a change in the time of passing period from classes to classes. This year at my school we have a STEM academy built, which opens new opportunities for new classes for prospective students to take. However, I believe that keeping the same 8 minutes passing period is not enough time. It should be extended to a 10-minute passing period. Personally, I have some classes in the new STEM building. However, there are many times where I have to walk from the furthest building off the main school campus to the STEM building in very limited amount of times without any bathroom breaks, without missing classes. In conclusion, I would suppose changing and it's a good thing, but I believe that they should adjust and accommodate to students and new changes so that students are able to take advantage of these changes while succeeding in school. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Shay Smith, and I'm a senior at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. I come to you guys to address the issue of Roosevelt rugby, and not just Roosevelt, but the rugby teams throughout the district. As you may or may not know, rugby is rapidly growing throughout America, and very much so in Southern California as well. I know there's a big misconception of what rugby is, it being football with no pads and it being very dangerous. But as a 4-year player and someone who's done my research, I can say confidently that rugby is in fact safer than soccer, cheer, football, and many of the other sports on campus. With this being said, I would love to start a conversation about rugby and its future in this district. I know it's unrealistic to expect change overnight, and that's not what we're pushing for, but instead to just have an opportunity and a fair and open-minded conversation about what we can do. Just like any other team, we train, we practice, we work hard, and we dedicate ourselves to rugby. And we love to represent our school, but oftentimes we feel isolated and we feel no support from the community around us. We have successful athletes as well. We had an athlete go D1 last year, and we have another athlete this year, Caleb Piper, that's going D1 to the number 1 powerhouse school in the nation. We also have a lot of boys and girls going to college to further their rugby career, but there's not a lot of help growing rugby in the district. And it's less about me because I'm leaving anyway, but about the juniors and freshmen and sophomores that have developed a love for rugby, but that would be left behind with really nothing. And lastly, I would like to say that rugby also won a championship about 2 weeks ago. So we won games too, and we would love the support that the others. Thank you for
Kate Riley. Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Riley West. I also go to Eleanor Roosevelt High School and I'm a senior. I play softball at Roosevelt and I'm also in the journalism program at Roosevelt. Last week I published an article about the gender bias we have at ERHS and it also relates to society. And that article in less than a week got the most views of any other journalism article ever published for the Roosevelt Review. It got about 1,500 in like 5 days. And my article is pretty long, so I don't want to read the whole thing because I won't have time, but I just wanted to read the first paragraph. I said, growing up as a female athlete all my life, I've gotten used to the fact that female athletes are treated differently. Whether it is at the national level dealing with equal pay or the U.S. male and female soccer teams, or at the high school level dealing with equal attention for girls and boys sports, female athletes are not treated the same. Recent events here on our ERHS campus regarding lack of support for girls sports has sparked my interest in pointing out the bias we have at ERHS. It's time to step up and acknowledge the difference in treatment towards our female athletes. I'm no longer going to sit back and accept that women are treated as second-class citizens. Our world may treat us as second-class citizens, but if we're truly the best at getting better, we can start change here on campus that can make our female athletes feel equal. So I would ask if everyone could visit the Roosevelt Review and read my article, because with my article being published, I've already had meetings with ASB advisors, members of our athletic department, and we've already started plans for change. So if in less than a week we started change within my own school, if my article was if everyone was to read my article, then we could make change in the whole entire district. So yeah.
Thank you. Ariana McClain. Ariana.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ayana McClay, and I've been in the CNUSD school district for as long as I can remember. And to start off, I would just like to express my appreciation towards the school district for always putting the students first and their academics. I feel as though the district has helped shape who I am today. As a senior, I feel more prepared than ever to further my education in college, thanks to the amazing teachers and programs. I also would like to recognize the great effort to make students feel safe. Also, being a new driver, I feel as though the process of me being able to obtain a parking pass was smooth. I want to briefly address a small inconvenience I've experienced, which is traffic in the back parking lot at Eleanor Roosevelt. And I believe that a lot of students here can also relate to this issue. I also believe that adding another entry to the parking lot will ease this problem. But I also acknowledge that traffic is an inevitable part of life, especially in Southern California. Again, I want to thank the school district for everything that they have done, and thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Hi, good evening. I'm Justin, and I go to ERHS, and I'd like to talk about the back of the high school parking lot. We all know leaving after school, right after the bell rings, is really hard. Heavy traffic with countless impatient people not letting you out of the parking spot. However, this is not the main issue of what I'm going to be talking about today. I'd like to talk about the new speed bumps that were added recently. When I first noticed, I was glad they were added to limit people's driving and increase safety among students and teachers walking on the road. But when I first went over them, I felt as they were way too high and hard to get over. I will say that I was going a little too fast, around a little bit higher than 5 miles per hour. But when I went over again, even below 5 miles per hour, I felt like my car was going over a massive hill. And no, I'm not exaggerating. These were very similar to the speed bumps that were at the Costco gas station, but they were taken out beforehand. But when they were there, I was getting gas with my mother, and I was nice in line with the speed bumps right in front of me. I would go over it slowly, and my mother and I experienced a massive jerk. My mother was complaining to me that her neck hurt and scolding me for going too fast. I told her it was just the speed bumps and not because of how fast I was going. Since there was no need for me to speed over it. Again, I do believe in safety, but I don't think that these new speed bumps helped with that. I think the speed bumps at the stoplights are perfect, good height, and not a struggle to get over, which should be a replacement for the new speed bumps. Thank you.
Thank you. Porter, Pittman, and
Hey, Shari.
minute each.
Okay, I'm Jeremy Aubrey.
I'm Porter Goodman. Both of us are students at Eleanor Roosevelt High School.
And today we just want to talk about the student parking lot. Me and Porter both live about 5 minutes away from the school, but it takes us 25 minutes to get to school. Even though there's a lot of parking spots, I feel like the entrance to get in should be at least 2 lanes instead of 1. And I do appreciate how the light to get into the school is longer, but I wish that there'd be a new destination or a new entrance for us to get to school.
Piggybacking on the inefficiency of the back parking lot with the U-turn system, the proposed solution I had was opening up a separate entrance along the back between the middle school and the elementary school along Orange, allowing 2 entrances into the student parking lot, increasing traffic flow, so that all the students aren't just trying to go into one parking lot in one spot. You have parents that won't let kids in through the student lot. And like Jarman said, live 5 minutes away and take like 20 minutes to get to school. Forcing me to show up late occasionally. And I feel like if we opened up a different entrance, it would dramatically improve efficiency. Thank you for your time and good evening.
Thank you. Andrew. I can't read your last name.
It's okay. Good evening, everyone, board members, and Superintendent Dr. Lin. I'd like to address a specific problem at our school, and those are the trees. The Calorie pear tree, or the Pyrus caloriana, a deciduous tree that's common throughout North America, is basically it's like littered amongst our school. So although they make a beautiful look around the season, they reek a very specific, mildly unpleasant scent. And although I do not know a solution towards this problem, yeah, like you could just change the trees, but like, besides that, thank you.
Thank you. Mateo Fernandez.
Hi, my name is Mateo Fernandez. I also go to URHS, and I'm here to talk about the increasing smell in the downstairs F building. And I found a point where it's really bad because every day I have first period germs class, and it smells the worst in there. Like, I think it's the plumbing in there where the smell just builds up so bad where we have to air out the whole class for a whole 20 minutes, and we'd be sitting there and that smell, and it's not good. It's pretty bad. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. So yeah.
Thank you. Becca Lou.
Good evening, fellow board members. My name is Becca Lou, a senior here speaking on behalf of my high school, Eleanor Roosevelt High School, and a club that focuses on our environment, which is Sierra Club. It is my pleasure to be here tonight and to have the opportunity to speak out about an issue that has grown prominently here at my school. A school over 4,500 students produces over 20 bins of trash cans each day. Although we have a large supply of trash bins on campus, they don't necessarily do its job. This is because we're located near Santa Ana, and Santa Ana winds get very brutal. These gusts of winds pick up to approximately 40 miles per hour, which causes film bags, plastic film bags, and salad containers in our 20 trash bins get blown across campus from these winds. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, plastic littering leads to air pollution, water pollution, and soil pollution. A simple solution to this problem that has been offered at our school and that I would like to present to the board and to all districts in our school is trash bin lids. If we implement trash bin lids in all schools, we can prevent more problems to littering on campuses across the district. With this resolution, I hope we can work together and take the opportunity to help provide cleaner and learning environments for our students across our district. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Monica here.
Hi,
My name is Monica Geyer. I'm a senior at Eleanor Roosevelt High School, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one of us who's going into college knowing for a fact that we'll change our major at least once in the course of our education, which is why I propose that high schools offer more vocational classes as electives. Instead of requiring students to take 3 or 4 years of math or science or history, we could cut that number down by even just a semester and offer students the opportunity to take a class that will give them a taste of several different possible college majors, so they can get a better idea of what they might want to do in the future, or if they already have an idea of what they might want to get their degree in. Let them choose from several individual classes that will specialize in specific majors and give them a better idea of what to expect in actual college courses. If we do this, I believe that it could not only decrease the amount of student debt that I know a lot of us will be going into in the future, since we won't have to waste hundreds of dollars taking specific college courses only to decide later on that we'd rather get our degree in something entirely different, but it would also send students to college more confident in the idea of what they want to pursue, if not knowing the specific major they want to declare. I also believe that classes such as these could engage more students and even increase the overall percentage of us who pursue college at all after high school, bringing the opportunity for a better and more educated future, not only for us, but for generations to come. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Jaden Reese.
Hi, my name is Jalen Reese. I'm a senior at Eleanor Roosevelt, and I had the opportunity last week to talk to Dr. Sanchez of the Student Services Board with other members of the Principals Advisory Committee about the LCAP budget for the district. And as a member, I'm also a member of Unity, the ERHS chapter of Unity. And as a member of that club, I felt that the opportunities for mental health services I just wanted to make sure that those were stressed on how important those are, because as I am involved in a lot of clubs, I'm involved in band, Unity, STEP, Poly, and I'm also involved in many AP classes and honors classes, and many of my friends are as well. And I see a really big trend of students having to choose between mental health or their classes. And I feel like a lot of opportunities aren't available for kids to get help that they need. And I personally have friends who have had issues with even suicide and depression, anxiety, and I feel like these opportunities for kids to get help should be more available over the district-wide. So that's all I wanted to talk about.
Thank you. Thank you to all you students. We are listening to what you're saying, and we came up with some good things here tonight. Thank you very much. Okay, we will move on now to consent items. Are there any questions, comments, or highlights on any of the consent items?
I just wanted to thank, probably Lisa, Dr. Simon, on 26E, on the field trips and those. I really like the addition where you put the supervisors that are going, put the number of credentials or certificated. I like that addition on there. I want to thank you for doing that. It really was helpful. Thank you.
Are there any items?
Just one of the highlights. I just wanted to call our attention to the expulsion rates. I counted. There's always a lot, but I think we might need some report on ethnicity. If it can be done publicly. A lot of times when we talk about the achievement gap, we have probably the kids who are here this evening are very articulate, are part of those who are achieving. All right, but then many of our kids, in terms of the gap, the Latinos and the Hispanic and African American are mostly expelled or suspended. I just wanted to know if that's the trend that's also happening in our school district, like the others.
Then I have one, it's on page 13, and I think this would fall to you, Lisa. It's it is 14F. If you could talk a little bit about on the American Airlines grant that they got for almost 25,000. If you could address that just a little bit.
Thank you, Mr. Zickophus. We're really excited about this. Corona High School Aviation Program has 35 students in its second year of instruction. The program started in fall 2018. The American Airlines grant funding will be used to promote aviation and related industry to 8th grade students. Yeah, it's really cool. Essentially, it will be a traveling roadshow that will include flight simulators. The unit can also be used for other special events. And as you know, there's a lot of career opportunities in this area, so we're really excited about this.
So for the 8th grade students, where will that just be within what school is that designated schools again?
It would be open to all of our 8th graders, and again, the way it's set up, is they can bring the simulators to the students at the schools. Yeah.
Yeah.
Many career opportunities.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So are there any items to be pulled from the agenda?
Madam President, right here. Staff would like to pull item 17U on page 25 and bring back April 14th when we conduct the public hearing on the increase of the statutory fees, school fees for new commercial and residential development. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
I want to pull out one.
Yes.
I think I want to pull out the policy on letter H, 13H. I want to add a couple of questions.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve everything else except for 13H.
So moved.
Second. Let's vote. Alexis, still here? Okay, 13H, go ahead.
Yeah. In terms of, we had a little discussion about this on the issue of mentoring. And at the last sentence of that policy, there's a portion where it talks about some form of incentive is mentoring. And that is really I don't know how much studies have been done on mentoring. I've written some chapters on faculty mentoring. So the whole notion of mentoring is very important in hiring. For example, at the faculty university level, I really fought for this one, that every time you hire faculty, we have to plan, we have to have a plan for mentoring. Because every time you hire, even in the K-12 world, every time you hire a principal or a teacher or somebody, that means they're the best ones, right? And we invest a lot of money, effort in hiring them. I think if this is something that we need to talk about, or you wanna do, that every good hiring that we make in terms of administration, we must assign a mentor. Because mentoring is not just when we catch them doing badly, but mentoring should be viewed from an asset-based perspective. These are good people that they probably need some help or some mentoring from day one. So I remember our past superintendent, Dr. Pedro Garcia, when he showed up, he brought with him a mentor right away. Because that's a good practice. These are expensive hires that we do. And if the board is interested to do a policy of mentoring, I think we should ask our cabinet administrators to put that on the agenda and talk something about it. I think there's nothing we will lose if we pay attention to that issue, because it will just make our hiring more qualitative, because we're now from the very beginning looking at it from the asset base, not deficit. Not I got you. You know, you need to be fired. No. I think there's got to be that asset-based perspective in hiring, and putting together a mentoring plan for them. So that's all. It caught my eye. That policy caught my eye. I don't know why our CNTA pulled that out, but for me, that's really an issue that caught my eye.
Okay, so I need a motion on 13H.
So moved.
Before we go there, actually, I'd like CNTA to come back. I'm not sure I fully got the issue, and if it's something that is going to affect at the table, I want deeper before we go down totally.
So that first sentence on the last page where it discusses incentives, our hesitation was on signing bonuses, because that would be an adjustment of our salary schedule in accordance with what we would consider bargainable. So we wouldn't want, for example, I know we have some positions that are considered hard to hire. We would obviously not want the board to start incentivizing the hiring of those positions without first bargaining out with the association. So that's our only hesitation.
Yeah, so, thank you, Chris. So the way I read the language of the policy is it's a broad understanding about the possibility of incentivizing if needed. Certainly anything that falls into the scope of bargaining, it does not supersede that or would preclude us from doing that as needed. So that's just the way I look at the policy as a broad understanding of that being possible if needed. But certainly anything that's bargainable would still have to take place.
Madam President, my question is, so Dr. Lawless asked for something entirely different than what this is issuing. So that's where I'm getting confused right now. So are we going to vote on H as the idea that we're not going to provide incentives, or we'll discuss it through bargaining, and then maybe you just need at a later point in time, which is not really attached to this, talk about the mentoring? They're two separate issues. That's what I'm just trying to point out.
Ms. Martin, if I could just kind of piggyback a little bit. So appreciate our association's comment and appreciate Mr. Gonzalez's comment. To keep in mind, I think the board has every right to choose its option to either pull, not vote on, for us to go back and reinvestigate and to ascertain, and or vote on tonight. Either way, remember this is board policy. In policies, generally speaking, I'm looking at Judy, do we have number one come through the legality behind that? A lot of the language is either statutory or has been part of the government code. And I am personally not familiar with that particular section. Glenn is much more familiar with regards to that sentence that Chris is referring to. But my guess is it's in the board policy. This came out of the gamut from the CSBA. Legally, I'm pretty sure they stand, but I think out of the ones of caution, we want to pull this and take a look at it to ascertain and double check with attorneys to make sure that the concern is addressed. Because like Luke said, we have no interest in infringing upon negotiation rights. That's also legal as well. So I think that's clarity behind the reason why this is being discussed or questioned.
So can I pose the question that we table this until we have a little bit more investigation and then get some clarity on it?
We have a motion.
We have a motion, okay.
I think that's a good idea to pull it and bring back on the next meeting so we can clarify the whole notion of incentivizing, because both the CNTA issue and my issue on mentoring are part of the incentive. How do we incentivize teachers or administrators or so on?
Okay, so you're going to pull your motion?
Yeah.
That's the absolutely. I think the clarity is we need to be sure that the legal parameters are observed. I believe they are, but let's double check. I would put this in caution. So I would recommend the board poll, and then we'll bring it back for further consideration.
So Jose, you can pull?
You already did, sir.
Yeah.
So I was just making a motion.
So I have a motion to table.
Yeah, that's fine.
No seconds?
Second.
Okay. John, second. All in favor? So do we all understand what we just did? No? Yes?
Yeah, we're gonna,
Okay, that was
Yeah.
just making sure. Alrighty. So, next we have, it is, recommended that the Board of Education consider voting for no more than 6 candidates to serve as representative on the 2020 CSP Delegate Assembly. We have a list, and there are 5, and they are none from our district. I propose we vote for David Nelson from Paris Union High School District, since we don't really know the other people.
Second.
I don't know if this is our neighbor, I don't know this well, but I think it's actually that Albert community. Is that Vega?
Do you know her?
you don't know her though?
Well, not personally, but I know her work as a
I'm not comfortable with that unless I really have some truth, but just because they're a board member, I know that, I'm going off kind of what Mary's saying with the David gentleman, because she has some deeper knowledge. Just because we've heard of somebody, for me, anyways, I'm not comfortable with that, so. For the, Lisa.
Okay.
But I am just one vote, so.
So, you're gonna vote for David, and how many of you wanna vote for Lisa, or Lizette, or who's voting for Lizette?
The board can vote for up to 5.
Okay,
5 of these candidates.
all right.
So
Individually.
yeah.
Individually, okay.
No, you don't have to, it's all one motion.
No, that's why I say
Each person
for
can
David and Elizabeth, or Lizette.
I'm sorry.
We need to do
No, we need to do the individual
decision. Right.
because I don't want to vote it as a slate.
Okay, so we will vote for David. All in favor? Did we get a second on David?
Yes, second.
Second, okay. All in favor? For David. Okay, now we will, get a second for Lizette.
What kind of, you said you know her work, what, can you elaborate on that?
I can't hear you. I can't hear
I
you.
don't know her personally. I know that in that community, we need someone like Lizette Vega, who's really, in terms of woman, Latina, who will, who will represent that community actively in the school board from Hollywood. That's what my.
She's a brand new school board member. And,
That's my sense.
okay,
How active this new person will be.
will be. Okay, do we have a second on Lizette?
I will second.
Okay, let's vote. It is recommended to the Board of Education approve the amend 2019-2020 master contracts for non-public, non-sectarian school agency services as listed. Dr. Gwen Rostro.
Thank you, Madam President. So, we're looking at, under the instructional support section, just so everybody, 15T. The last item on there, as you mentioned, it's an amendment for discussion and action. So basically, what we have here, just looking at it, it seems like there's a lot of expenses, which they are. This is related to our non-public agencies that support our students to receive special education services, and also non-public schools. So as you guys are aware, we've been working extensively over the last 3 years in our business department, special ed, and really every division has been very proactive. I want to call to your attention to the line item number 2 under non-public agencies that talks about accountable healthcare staff. Originally, it was approved for $400,000 earlier in the school year, and tonight we are increasing that to $700,000 and almost $800,000. So an aggregate total of almost $1.2 million. So that might look on paper like, wow, that's a lot of money, which it is. But it really, behind the story, behind this is that last year, we announced that amount with accountable healthcare staff. However, this year, we are not utilizing 8 other agencies. So it's actually saving us money, and meeting again with our folks from business. I know that, and also working with our associations, we have been able to, while we still have lots of expenses, we have been able to come down in excess of $1 million. So I just want to highlight that. I know that there is some other items there, and I'll be happy to answer questions. But that's what you're approving tonight. It's just an amendment, and this is pretty typical that we approve contracts and then we see how things are going in the second semester, which is what this is about, and this will get us through the end of the school year. And I want to thank Mr. Giles and Mrs. Deli Valderrama and Tricia Thompson for all their hard work.
And then Sam, I could touch on a little bit, but this the numbers increase are so significant because it really is a consolidation. So instead of, just use the same one we did, healthcare staff. So before we came to this number, that would have been spread over multiple agencies. Now we've kind of closed that loop. So thus, that number is that much, correct?
Exactly. And it's state agencies, and I did work with Don, our sales director, making sure that that was the case, and that's what we happened.
Thank you.
Okay, I need a motion.
Second.
Let's vote. Right. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting. Vote. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.